All right, we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to DC Fine Art. I'm kind of waiting to see if everything is working good. I actually have a new microphone on, so hoping the sound is okay on your guys' end and I'm not talking too loud and you guys can still hear me clearly. So definitely a new microphone. So anyways, it looks like everything's good so far. Looks like we'll just play along. If something goes wrong, I'm sure, hopefully I see something in the chat and just let me know. So anyways, if you guys are, any of you guys are new to the channel, just want to let you guys know this is a live art chat. And what we'll be doing is just chatting along, doing different types of mediums. I do a different medium each week. Today we're going to be working on watercolor again. That was a whole lot of fun. And it actually went really quick with the mushrooms, so I wanted to do something a little different. So we're going to be working on a butterfly with these beautiful purple flowers. I thought it was really pretty. And I'm just working with different types of watercolors too. So we'll be working more with the Faber Castell. It is the Alverdura watercolors, markers. These were actually a lot of fun to work with and they came out really nice. They are light fast, so if any of you guys were wondering if they are light fast, they are. And also I set up a new thing, so I'm kind of new to it, but I set up an Amazon affiliate links below. So if any of these things you guys are curious on looking into on what I've been using or what I have been using, I do have the links for those below and they're underneath Amazon affiliate links. So that way it kind of helps me out too. So anyways, what else was I going to tell you? Oh, I also let everybody know too for my Patreons on what's going on, like what we're going to be doing or what we're working on. Or if any of you are interested in joining Patreon, you can sign up either as a free member, which basically it gets you on free members. I do have like, if I think straight, my brain just went poosh. But free members get each month, I come up with like a list of things like you guys can create like some ideas for the month and just make like a theme of the month. So I do that every month. And also now this is kind of like a new thing, but I've been throwing in tracing. So if you guys are just in a hurry and you don't want to, I know I have the reference photo also linked below, but if you guys are wanting like what I'm actually working off of, like my little tracing that I did real quick, you guys can go over there and download that for free. It's also on my Patreon. You just sign up as a free member if you're wanting to get that. So I do have it right here. See, I printed out my own so you would see kind of what you would be getting. Let me turn this over here. Hold on one second. Let me turn this. Okay. So like you would be getting this where you can go ahead and print it off like what I traced out, and you can kind of work off what I'm working off of. Now, if you're wanting to learn like watercolor and you're just in a hurry, this is a good way to do it. If you're wanting to kind of see how like basically what I work off of, then you guys can get that too. So that is free over on Patreon. Sign up as a free member and you also get that. So not only themes of the month, but you also get that. I do believe I have one video for you guys who are my free members. I have one video, I think it's per medium. So each medium underneath the category, you get one video for free that you can kind of see how the videos go. And if you like it and that's what you want to see a little bit more of on what we're doing, then you can sign up underneath the tiers. So, and any of that bit for signing up for tiers definitely helps this channel. So basically anything that I get from that Patreon goes directly back into the channel for buying supplies, art supplies, so I can keep on doing this for you guys. So every little bit helps out. For Patreons, I know you guys are like, come on, get to the watercolor. I just want to show Patreon what we are doing. Let me switch back over real quick before we start on this. So we are working on a St. Patrick's theme and just kind of showing you how I do this in acrylics. So still working on it. It's a work in progress, but this is really, really cute. And I figured to do an acrylic painting and add that to the Patreon. So this one here is a whole lot of fun to do. And you can see how I layer in this and how I really do zoom in quite a bit too. So where it's really zoomed in and you can see what I'm doing. Don't really want that to fall. Hold on one second. There, stay. Okay. So I do zoom in so you guys can see everything whenever I do those Patreon ones. I think hopefully I'm not missing anything else. Oh, and also the Patreon videos, I got them broken down into like 30 to 40 minute segments. So that way it's a little bit easier too, because I know some, or at least with me, it's really hard to get through a 2 to 3 hour long video that some artists put out there. And it's like, they're lessons, but they're really, really long. I just broke them down into 30-minute, 40-minute, like part 1, part 2. So that way it's a little bit easier too to be able to do those. Plus that you can take a rest, take a break, and then go back to it. So anyways, let's go ahead and switch this over and get started. Live work. All right, so what I am using here is the watercolor canvas board. Now this one here, you know what? I thought it was an 8x10 that I was using. It's actually a 9x12. So I put down the wrong size in the description of what I would be using. Looks like I do have, don't I have 8x10s in these? Maybe I don't. I thought it was 8x10. Okay, so it's a 9x12 watercolor canvas board. Looks like by Fredrix is what I'm using. I went ahead and showed you guys too. Let me get this tracing out of the way. I just wanted to show you what that looks like if you were to print it off. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my tape because I went ahead and transferred it onto my board here. Now, if you guys are wanting to just draw it yourself from the reference photo, you can surely do that and then transfer it onto your canvas board. You really don't want to draw on your canvas board and make a bunch of eraser marks on it because it shows up, especially with watercolor. So I made sure that this is not really heavy. Like I didn't push down really, really hard on the transferring because I didn't want to make too dark of lines and because we're dealing with watercolor. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you guys are wanting, like I said, the photo is from Pixabay and the link for that is in the description if you guys want that. So we're going to go ahead and start picking out our colors. So we could start off by doing, basically I would like to do the background, but before we do the background too, I was thinking almost like yellows, but it would kind of blend in with the butterfly. Okay. Now these are the Daniel Smith's watercolors here. I chose these because they have some really pretty, I love Daniel Smith. They're really nice colors. But they also have the purples in here, as you can see. Maybe, I don't know which one you can see better. These little lip on this cardboard makes it a little bit easier. But you see how they have these really dark purple and then they got this lighter purple here. Those are some really good colors that I figured that I could use for my purple flowers. And if you're wanting like any of these other colors here too, are really, really nice. Imperial Purple and Moon Glow. Those are gorgeous colors. Here's Imperial, here's Moon Glow. Those are for the flowers. For the background, I know they have a lot of greens, which we could do. And they have Cascade, let's see here, Cascade Green. They got green, I think it's like Appetite or Appetite, Genuine, and Undersea Green. So we don't want it to be like Undersea Green. That would be more of like a dark green, I think. More like this green. It's kind of like, I don't know, not really what we're wanting to go for. I wonder if I got a brighter green. We could probably just do, and then also I got these core watercolors. I've been using these lately and I absolutely love these. Oh my goodness, if I could get more of these, I would. These here are the earth colors is what these are. And there is a green right here. So I'm gonna pull him out. I think there's a little sheet too to kind of show you Yeah, it's like right here. It seems kind of dark. But on the side of the tube, it seems like you can really get it kind of lighter, and that's a really pretty green. So we might end up mixing them up. You never know. So we could do a little bit of this and then some of this yellow, like the nickel azio yellow. Where's that? That's a really bright yellow that I got there. Nickel azio. That looks kind of darker. I don't know where this one came from, to be honest. I do have other Daniel Smith sets. Hansa yellow. I don't know. It's super bright. I think I want to go ahead and do that. Let's do the Hansa yellow. If I'm pronouncing that right. Hansa yellow light. That's a really pretty color. And we'll use the core, the sap green with this. And we'll just make a really light background, like a greenish background. Not too worried about the way it looks. I really want it lighter. Hopefully I don't need to, I know these purples will show up. If you're dealing with anything with white in it, or you want it really, really light, these marks, like these pencil markings, might end up showing up. So you may end up having to erase a little bit of them, so that way it makes it easier to cover if they're a little bit too dark. Hopefully everything's going good here. Also, if you could please leave a like on the channel, that definitely helps the channel grow. I know I need to mention that a little bit more than I normally do, because sometimes I tend to forget. And when I forget, then that's whenever I don't really get hardly any likes. I didn't get any paper towels. Oh goodness, there goes a cop or something. Yep. That's not loud at all. Now I'm just taking some paper towels and folding them in half. I should have done my job, you guys. But if you guys are still trying to get your paper towels out, or you're trying to do your tracing and finish it off real good, then definitely taking up some time here. So I'm going to get some water, and we are going to put some water in the dish. And I'm putting quite a bit. I'm going to take first, I'm going to mix that up. I'm going to take and put my yellow here. And then I'm going to take some of that green. You know what? I'm going to put it over here. Let's put some more yellow in it. Really want to lighten that up. I'm just taking my fine mister sprayer here. Now, in the beginning of this, it did say on the board, if you were to wet this down, well, that's usually like 10 minutes before time, wet down the canvas and then let it soak. But we're going to kind of do that, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to spray this really good because I definitely want a really wet canvas. Now, I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to soak up some of the water right around the areas of the flowers. And some of the areas that I don't really want the color getting into, at least a whole bunch. Maybe the butterfly here. It actually kind of washes a little bit of that pencil lead away. That's actually kind of good. All right, I think we're good on that. So now I kind of dried off my butterfly and the butterfly and the flower. I'm going to take some of this green and we're going to start up here. We're going to start adding this. I just wrote a really loose just kind of greens. If we need to go any darker, then I will, but I'm not really too worried about it. Let's take some of this yellow. And we may end up having to add more water to this. We'll just see. Really would just like to get some of my pigment down just randomly. There's no rhyme or reason to this at all. Like, just none. We just want to have something in our background, and it can be very loose. It's fine. And see how this kind of bleeds in? It really does kind of bleed into some of the other areas next to it. If I go over this little butterfly antenna, that's fine. Okay. If you need to spray again, you can. I'm just actually going to leave that. I'm going to go a little bit higher up. Maybe I won't have too much of a problem with it bleeding. And see, you always start out lighter, and if you're wanting it a little darker or it's too light, then you can go in and make it darker. So always start out a little lighter, and then you can go darker wherever you choose. You don't want to start out dark and then trying to go light. And that's the one thing about watercolors too that's really nice, is just starting out with a nice loose painting. You don't really have to worry too much about detail. And I am the one who loves detail, so I'm going to throw in some more darker colors in here. Darker greens, maybe. I really want to keep this wet because if you want to go ahead and lift some of these colors, you still can. I know there's some greens and stuff that should be behind here, so we'll just make it super light, but just kind of add it in. I do believe the purple will end up overtaking some of these colors here, but especially if you make them nice and light. Now I might end up absorbing some of this water just to kind of make it feel a little bit lighter, a little bit airier. Okay, so we'll just see. You know what? I'm actually going to do something a little different. You know, I keep on coming up with stuff. You can either, let's try this, and then we'll try another thing, because either one of these I think will work just fine. So just crinkle up a paper towel. Probably should have done one that was mostly dry. And then just kind of sponge it to make some textures. That's really pretty. Okay, so you could either do that. Let me throw this away. Or if you have like these little sponges, if you guys bought any of these, they're like in the art supply section. You can find them pretty much anywhere. We could try doing that. So not for sure if it'll leave behind a bunch of sponge stuff. We'll just see what happens. It's always good to experiment. I never use these, to be honest with you. So it's not really, I did pick up a lot of the water, a lot of the pigment too. Yeah, that works too. You just got to push down a little harder. To make the design. If you want to make it a little bit, I'm probably going to make a mess on my hands, by the way. But it's okay. I'm not too worried about it. Now maybe getting these into my flowers, but that's fine. Look at that. Oh, we are leaving a little bit of this stuff behind. I really think that if you dry this, that you can just probably just brush it off. I love experimenting though. It kind of lightened it and it made it kind of airy, but it seems to me like it needs to be a little bit darker. So let me go ahead, and this is the fun thing. I really like the way it looks though. Let's see if we can't add a little bit more of our dark, like a darker green in there. And then try and sponge it up a little bit more. Especially in there. Really want to get it darker. Let's see what happens. Let's have some fun, you guys. Okay, let's try a little sponge here. Preferably, maybe I should have washed it. Now, a lot of you could use these for like acrylic paints. Would be really nice to use these. I'm just kind of rolling it. And these little things right here are just like bubbles. So that made it really kind of airy in the back. I kind of like that. Let's add a little bit more yellow. And then we're going to add a little bit more, probably like some of this darker yellow, I'd like to get down here. So I want more of the yellow to be up on top to make it lighter, and then on the bottom be darker. I made it like super bright in there, didn't it? And we are actually going to see, once we dry this, to see if we can brush off some of that yellow sponge, which I really do think it'll just brush right off. So let's go ahead and take out, I know we have the sap green in there and it's pretty dark, but I want to get it a little bit darker. So where are my colors? I didn't put them all in there. There was actually a dark green. Maybe I didn't have the dark green out. Undersea green or something. Green, apatite green. I wonder if that is the darker green. Cascade green. And we got these other ones. I don't even know which one is which, to be honest. That one seems a little darker. So let's go with that. That's like green apatite, maybe? Appetite or appetite? I don't know. Sorry. And I ended up getting a little bit of the watercolor yuck on there. I'm going to wet the bottom corners just up just a little bit. Yeah, it makes it really nice to kind of work on these boards because I don't really have the issue with anything really like starting to like bow up or anything, which I really don't like that in paper when it does that. I don't feel like working on hills, even slight hills, which I know a lot of those pads, like the pads that you get, the watercolor pads, like the hot press, Arches hot press watercolor paper comes in a pad. Those are really nice. Those I don't have too much of an issue either, but I can really go into soaking a lot of my stuff here. I don't know if that's a gap or not. No, that's a flower. If it ends up being something that no, I like that. My contacts have been not too nice to me today. Those are really pretty. And that was this one. Genuine, appetite, genuine. Green, appetite, genuine. I don't know. It's always got some weird colors. So hopefully everybody's having a good Tuesday. I know mine's been a busy one. I love these colors, by the way. These are just gorgeous. We'll just do that. Oh. I'm almost tempted to actually wear my glasses whenever I'm working instead of these contacts because I'm actually having trouble with them. And I haven't had trouble with them all day today until now. It's like, for some reason, it's like, oh my gosh. If it ends up giving me too much problems, you may see me just hurry up really quick and put on my glasses. Let me go ahead and blow dry this real quick, you guys. And I don't know if I can mute you guys. Maybe I can. I'm going to mute you guys and I'm going to go blow dry this, come right back so that way it's fixed. And then we'll try and kind of get rid of some of those little sponge like debris. And we'll do that together. So I'm going to put you guys on mute for just a second. All right, I am back. And I try to get it to where it wouldn't run too much because I know whenever you blow dry it, it tends to like spread out. And I didn't notice this little part right here. But before we do that, we definitely have some of these debris. This may be a little bit wet. And we're just going to see if we can't use like just a little dust brush. And just kind of get those off. That I don't know what that is. That might be a part of it. Yeah. Some of them that are a little bit wet might be on there, but it's not. It's coming off. I don't know what that is. That's actually part of the actual watercolor. Okay. All right, I think that is good. Yeah. Definitely the lighter areas that I can really tell, and it looks to me like it's all off. So it wasn't too bad. All right, so now we can go ahead and start working on this beautiful butterfly. I really like the background. If you're wanting it to be just something a little bit more simple and just not so, because I really got into making a lot of green squiggles and everything. And you can do yours a little looser or kind of soak it up and make it lighter if you want to. So next thing we're going to do is some of the green plants, or at least the greenery that's in here. And I want to use a different color than those colors that I had. Let's go ahead and use this Jaded Genuine. You know, I wish they were simpler names. It would really help. We're going to try it out. I'm going to go ahead and give it a squirt. And if we need to add anything to it, like we probably should Nickel Azio Yellow. I've been wanting to throw this in already for a while. I don't care. We're just going to use the same area that we used the other light yellow. I really don't mind if some of my colors share spaces with the other colors. I'm that type of person. Like I really love mixing up colors so much that it don't bother me. It's like, it's okay. You can share. That is really darker. Mix it in with some of that yellow in there. And you're probably wondering why I'm using yellow for like leaves, like starting out. Well, with watercolors, you really want to work lighter and then work darker. And I really would like to have some of my greenery here a little different. We got some sunshine going on, and I think that these leaves should be more of like bouncing off with the colors that we have surrounding it. I will end up going on top of this with green, by the way. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a big green like thing that's here. I don't even know what it is. It's like a big green, like it's gonna be a flower kind of thing, and then behind it is actually sprouting out a flower. So we can put it like that if we want to. Okay. Let's go ahead and just keep on heading our way on down with this. Just kind of creating our stem here. And we'll take it all the way down. Now, just to let you guys know, if you are working this and you're like, oh my gosh, mine's not turning out that great, just keep working on it. Do not give up on your little flower. Do not give up on this piece, because everything usually starts out looking pretty rough, and you just got to keep working on it until it looks the way you want it. Don't give up. There is a layering process. That's the way I've always been. I mean, there may be other and other artists and watercolor artists will always do things differently. So I mean, I've worked with watercolor, but and done quite a few pieces with watercolor, but my problem is trying to get really loose with it. So I like to add a lot of detail. I am just a detail type of person. And the last one I did, like the mushrooms, I finally talked to I guess I talked my brain into finally going looser, and it turned out just the way I wanted it. And I was like, wow, yay. Yay, it happens. Some of these leaves here may not make sense. I would just... Lola, you're not supposed to be in here, girlie. Lola, go on. Nope, keep going. She likes to pick on the little pebbles back there, our little hamster. She doesn't really pick on her. She just looks at her through the glass, but I haven't heard little pebbles scream, so she only screamed once. And that was because Whiskey, my dog, didn't even notice her. He just kind of stood up, and she was like done. She started screaming, trying to shut her door. We got some new little stems right there. And then, well, they got a little leaf. Maybe right in there. Then we got a bigger leaf. And see, it's already got a yellow tip on this leaf here. So when we come back through and we add our greens and start getting those in, that one's already got a stem, or already got the green already in there. All right, so I think this looks pretty good. We're gonna have a lot of purple. Almost had to make sure that wasn't my drink I was drinking. I was like, oh my gosh. I do not want to. I've done that before where I was drinking and I accidentally stuck my brush and cleaned it in my drink. That was horrible. All right, we're going to start pulling out some of this green. Now this green here is a darker green. Once we add more water to it, let's add more water. All right. This might get some spreading to go, but it's okay. Oof. Let's start out with the bottom ones because I definitely don't want it too. Kind of going off one side here. I'd really like to spray this now. Let's see if we can take a piece of paper and see if we can absorb some of this to kind of give it a lighter look. May have to get a little bit more green on it before I can really do this. Ah. Come on, little towel, work with me. I'm going to throw in some of this sap green. And I'm just kind of getting some of the underneath colors here. These are kind of like in the shadow. Okay, let's take some of this darker green. Now, as you notice too, I don't know if you guys have actually, but in the description below, I did list off that we would be using the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. It is really nice. It's a very opaque white, and I really wanted to kind of try that out by adding maybe some highlights of it here and there. Really want to lighten this. It feels like I just got way too much pigment down. See if we can't lighten it up just a tad. Don't really want that one to stick out that much. See if we can roll this up. I've been getting the hang of, instead of like just leaving it or trying to be really, because I never used to soak up my paints. Like I would be like, no, let's just leave it. And then I started kind of soaking up some of the water with your paper towel. And it makes it really nice. It makes it kind of more loose. Gives it a nice little light touch to it. And if I can just get this narrowed down, we could just kind of run that right along. See how much that makes a difference? I just absolutely love how you can lighten that up. It just creates more of an airy kind of look, and I absolutely love it. There. I like that. And you can kind of see it kind of glowing up. It's just much, much looser. So now we can go over and let's just do these other little leaves here. Let's see here. How do we have that? Let me zoom in just a tad. We got some really big leaves just kind of coming in through here. And it doesn't have to make too much sense neither. It just, these are leaves, vines. Oops, that'll be really dark. Looks like I'm running out of water. Whoops. This is the bigger leaf actually. I'm going to push that down. And I added quite a bit of water to this. You're probably wondering, what are all these lines that I have on my paper? Those are just showing like the leaves, the way the lines of the leaves and the stems go. What I really want you to do is just kind of like think, okay, this is where stems are, these are where, because they're all over the place. And just keep that as a reference, kind of like thinking, okay, that's where this goes. Do you have to be exactly to the reference photo when doing this? No. You're working with watercolor, loosen. You've got to loosen it. And I'm just showing you guys how I'm creating that. Just kind of make it more of a narrow kind of thing. We're going to soak that up just a tad. And we're just making little lines through here. We're just making it busy. We definitely want it busy. Because that's definitely going to help the effect. And then where's my bigger leaf? It's right here. Right there. If you want to add more detail and you're like me who just really wants to add a lot more detail to it, like every little thing, then you can come back through if you wanted to. You could come back through, you can add in all the detail you want, and you can use watercolor pencils too to do it. That would be really super fun. Actually, we could end up going back and doing a little bit of that if we wanted. I'm going to get the really super dark green here. And I'm just putting in these lines back in. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of water. Okay. Just adding a little bit more of a darker tone to there, like a shadow. All right. Now let's go ahead and throw in these purples. My poor eyes. All right, we want to start out with a lighter purple. So this is Imperial Purple, and the other one is Moon Glow. Moon Glow is a darker one. So we want to start off with lighter colors. I'm just going to use the same space in here for both the Moon Glow and this one, the lighter one, the Imperial. I'm going to go ahead and spritz this. We can go ahead and spritz the top here. We're going to work from the top. Definitely want enough water. We want it nice and not too dark. And we're going to throw in these purples in here. No, I'm looking at the wrong flower too. Good job, Deborah. Throw in some purples. That looks good. And you're probably thinking, what? Let's go ahead and do it here. I'm going to spritz it down because we want it nice and light. I'm going to make this one here. This one here is a nice big one. Like it connects to this yellow that I have right there. Then we got another one in the back. It's actually tucked in behind this stem, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit careful here. Actually got a little piece kind of sticking out there. Made that a little bit darker. We actually could. There. I'm going to put some darker purple in this one also. Okay. And then we're just going to keep up the good work here because we got a lot more flowers. There's just a cluster here. And yeah, I mean, this here can get a little dicey, I guess you should say, because you have so many of these flowers just all clustered with each other. And, you know, in a way, it's kind of nice because it makes you think, okay, maybe I don't have to work on being precise on every little detail. I can actually work and be, you know, it forces you to work looser. Which that's what we need to work on, is working more looser. Let's get some light purples in here. And how I'm doing the light purple is just by adding more water to it. That will end up getting you more of a lighter look. If you're wanting to create a darker look, you just add more of the pigment and less of the water. And then another way to work lighter would be if, that one actually needs to be darkened up. If you take a paper towel and then you come in here and you just kind of blot it, this is how you're going to make more texture. This one's really light. It's way up here in the sunlight. We can add a little bit more pigment to that though, because on the camera it looks really light. So we can come in here and add more to it. Look. And see, I made those nice and big. There's some areas that just have like 1 or 2 little sprinkles of flowers here and there. Oh, my contacts are so bad. First it was my elbow last week, and this week now it's like, there we go. It's really pretty. All right. Now we can start getting into our butterfly, because that looks gorgeous. I like the way this looks. It's very, very loose. Now, the one thing with the butterfly, I'd really like to, I don't know if I really want to make him very loose or if I want to make him more detailed, because I don't know. I like the detail a lot. So I'm going to move this out of the way because I don't think I need any more of the purples. I will need some more of the yellows, but it's kind of mixed in with some green. We actually could skip on over and let's just work with our Faber Castell markers, watercolor markers here. Yay. Let's see how these do. This one here is a black, and it's got either a brush nib or you can do the bullet nib on the back. And I'm wondering if I need, I know I'm gonna end up resting my hand on this. I need my glove. This side should be dry. Yeah. Just making sure. I don't want to just lean my hand on there and make some weird marks. Boy. So, what have you guys been working on like lately? I don't know if you guys been creating stuff out there that maybe I'd like to hear about it. Okay. So I'm going in here and just adding his legs just right off the bat. Now these, if you spray this down, he will definitely bleed. I mean, this is watercolor, so if you spray it, it's just gonna go everywhere. So I'm not gonna try and spray this at all. If I'm wanting to work in the colors, I'm either going to wet the painting with like a brush or some other way, but we are not gonna spray it now. We are past the point of that. There's like little white dots in here, which we can always come back through. And I'm hoping by trying out some of that Doc Martens pH neutral that I was thinking about using would be kind of nice to add in those dots in there. These dots don't have to be perfect. If you cover them up, that's fine. They were just a kind of like letting me know exactly where everything is. Like, hey, this is where this is at. It's just to help you, to kind of guide you where some of this stuff is. So don't get lost in your reference photo too much. Don't worry about it. If you cover up a dot, who cares? It's perfectly fine, because you'll end up going through and making these dots with the pH neutral white, and you can just kind of look at your reference photo and just get as close as you can. Does not have to be perfect. Okay, we're going to go ahead and fill that in. Probably don't even need this much of the black. You could actually get your paintbrush and use some water and just kind of spread this out. It's just I'm trying to get as close as I can as like around some of these details that yeah. I think that'll be fine. Make sure its legs there. All right. He's got a lot of little speckles all over him. And if I don't like something, like, I don't know if I like some of these dots here, maybe I want to cover one of them. I'll have to come back through, use the pH Martin's white, bleed proof white, Dr. pH Martin's. It's hard to say that. And come back through and add the dots where I need them. So now we're going to have a line. Let's see here. Yeah, it gets outlined. So we could end up doing that just nice and gentle, just going around and just kind of outline this. I hope I hear my puppy Whiskey. So if you hear somebody coming into their art room or into the studio, that would be my puppy dog, Whiskey. I just heard him pick up his little crunchy toy. So we're getting him kind of like all drawn out. It's like using an actual marker. Now this may end up bleeding into the orange. I have no clue. But even if it did, I'm drawing some super straight lines. And in the reference photo, as you can see, Their black is kind of like jaggedy a little bit, and there's some white that's in between that and the black too. So that means that we don't really have to go all the way up to the actual black line. There's a lot of dots in this. So just basically goes, we can always just outline it and then just draw our white back in. That's going to be really pretty with the red. I'm hoping I don't take up too much time with this. We have a lot of, sometimes I can have so much fun with painting and working with stuff that I can take a little bit too much of my time. Just kind of working in and around some of these dots. That's not a dot. Let's cover that. But I definitely wanted this. I mean, you could do a loose butterfly if you want to. For me, I really wanted the flowers and the green leaves and all that stuff to be a little bit more looser. And I really wanted my butterfly to be more detailed, just to kind of stand out. But you could do both your background and your little butterfly loosely if you want to. That is totally up to you. That's the thing about creating artwork, is that you just have fun with it. It's supposed to be relaxing and healing. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, I am actually, I'm deciding on not getting the Powerful pack for next month. I know that probably going to get people like, really? And the reason why is because I found, for one thing, I need to get me more art supplies. I'm kind of running out of art supplies. And instead of paying for the Powerful Pack box for next month, I figured that maybe instead of doing that, I can pick out some of the art supplies that I use. And if I find something new or something that I haven't tried before, then I'll pick it up. I usually like to go with things that are light fast, that, you know, as an artist you can sell. So I usually like going for that kind of stuff. A lot of the stuff that I did get, you know, things from Powerful Packs on, some things were not light fast, some things were light fast, but I'm kind of getting to a point where I'm running out of the things that I need. So I have ordered it has to be a surprise. I can't tell you what I ordered. Can't do it. But I have ordered something that I am going to be doing a review on and trying out. And I'm actually really, really excited about it because I'll give one little hint. I know you guys will never guess it, but there was something that I got in the Powerful Pack box that I absolutely enjoyed working with. The only problem I had was that it was not light fast. And for me, that's like almost a deal breaker, because I need products that I can sell. Like, I can make prints of it, but I really don't really care for my prints, like making prints of everything. I'd I want to sell the actual original, you know? And so it was really kind of heartbreaking because I gave it to my daughter. My daughter never used it, by the way. But every time I went into her little art room that I got set up for her, every time I went in there, I would see them and I was like, oh my God, I wish I could work with those. I absolutely loved them. And I'm like, nope, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't. There's only so much time that I have, and every time that I try and spend doing my artwork, I usually try using things that I can sell with. If I just played around and did artwork, I don't know, without not thinking, hey, you know, I guess the business side of it comes in. And plus that, I want my artwork to last a while. Even if I were to keep it for myself, I don't want it, you know, fading on my walls. As you can see, I have my walls covered with my artwork. I don't want to see it fading. So, yeah. I'm kind of happy that I found an alternative. Found an alternative, and I'm going to be doing a review. Super excited about it. And I'm thinking you guys might like that. At least I'm hoping that you guys might like that. I know this is taking forever. Let's see if I can't just hurry it up. Sometimes I get into daydreaming, and I was daydreaming about that art product that I got. That's pretty bad. You know you don't have a life when you daydream about art products. I don't know. When you got nothing else better to do. Actually, I love doing artwork. It just makes me feel so good. And it relaxes me and makes me happy. And that's kind of the way it should be. Ooh. Okay, we're almost done with this black, and then we can just kind of plug and play in here. Oh, I get this little section here. Okay, it's filled in good enough. All right, so we got our little butterfly. He already looks cute. Let's just leave him black and white. He's great. He's done. No, just joking. You guys are both like, what? Don't do that. All right, so what is this color? This color is really, this is sanguine. Watch me pronounce it wrong. You guys will be like, that's not what it's called. Like Indian red. I don't know if we want that. But we definitely want, we'll use our white. I really would like to have a nice red. What is this one? This one here is pink carmine. I don't know, maybe. It's a maybe. We definitely need oranges, maybe some yellows. This is kind of like a yellow gold. What is this? Green gold. Green gold, yellow gold. Maybe. We'll see. Ooh, here's the bright reds. And the yellows and oranges. So we don't need that. No, we don't need this one. We don't need green gold. Put that one back. Look at this one. Deep scarlet red. And we've got Pale Geranium Lake. I love Geranium Lake. Okay, let's get rid of this one. What is this one again? Pink Carmine? Yeah, let's get rid of that one. And then let's pull out some of these yellows and oranges. And then we'll use our white, and then we should be done with this and see how it looks. Because already it looks so cute. I love it. I bet everybody who probably watched me do the beginning of this was probably like, I don't know if it's going to look too good. And then I go, ta-da! I love doing that. I don't know, it's kind of fun. Like, what? How did that happen? It happened. You just got to keep working on it and trust the process. And keep on layering. We got cadmium yellow, and we got dark cadmium yellow, and we have orange glaze. Ooh, that sounds so pretty. It's really going to make this one look like not very good. We'll just keep it off to the side because I might need that. I need to make a darker red. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make, actually there should be a black line right there. I found something I missed. It is right, it's very thin. It's right there. Okay, I think I'm happy. Maybe. All right, so what we're gonna do is we are going to, I'm gonna try this out. This is how you can tell if things go wrong or right. You just never know. I'm gonna take my little brush, it's a wet brush. And I'm just gonna make a little stripe all the way. Very close, I'm not trying to touch the black. Don't touch the black. Okay, now let's pick up the orange. I don't know if I want to use the bullet nib. Let's use the brush tip. That is really pretty. And I'm just going to draw a line all the way down. Close. I don't want it touching. I don't want it touching the... Why is somebody honking? All the way around the curb. Oh, it's a train. I am not in the... You know, I'm thinking it's time for me to dye my hair here soon. Have to be careful though, because that will bleed. I want to take the orange again. Kind of go through it. Really would like to have it a little bit darker. We're going to put some of the sanguine whatever color in there. Right up close to the black. Ooh, feels like the... Oh. Oh my goodness, they're like, okay. Yeah, I'm smart. I'm like, wow, these things are refillable. All right, that seems pretty good. And I just wiped off my nib. I have a habit of wiping off like my brush tip when I'm done because of working with like those pit artist pins. So I have a habit of wanting to do that. Like clean off your tip before you put it up. Oops. Well, I just went into the black on that. Good job. I'm just full of it. Now in the center here, it is mostly it's got white in between, so trying not to get too crazy with the watercolor here. Now that may end up, yeah, soaking into the black and making the black kind of run. So we may end up having to take our little paper towel and just kind of dab it. You can always go over it again with our orange. So make sure. There, we're good on it. If we don't like this, we can always go back in and we could go back in and add, instead of our markers, we could actually use our actual watercolors for this. But I'm liking what it looks like. It's not bad. Hey, how are you? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we're playing around with some watercolors. We're just having some fun. And experimenting a little bit more with these markers. I've used them a few times, but I haven't used them like all the time. So definitely something to play around with. They're a lot of fun. And they're light fast, which is super nice. Yeah, these markers are the Faber Castell. I don't know if I can't even get the lid on. Hold on. It's because I unscrewed it. Okay. Here, I'll show you these. These are the Faber Castell, and these are the 30. I got the pack of 30, so there's different ones. And it's Alberta watercolor markers. So these are really cool. They're a lot of fun to use. Oh, and then I also went ahead and for anybody who was interested in checking these out, because I can't really give prices on how much they are, especially when prices change all the time. But I do have an affiliate link for Amazon, and I have it linked below in the description. So if any of you guys are curious on how much these are, you can go run over there and check them out. Yeah, these are a lot of fun. I've had them for a little while now. And I guess, I did not know this, but until now, you can unscrew it right here. Oh, better not do that. Oh, and see, I'm guessing they probably make refills. So you can refill the actual marker. I did not know that until now, because I was like, oh, they're messing around with it. I guess if you run out, I don't know if they sell them as a, oh my gosh, what is it called? Like if they sell them like by themselves, like if you ran out of one color, or if you can buy the refills. I'm not for sure. So we're going to do this another way. Instead of wetting it first, we're just going to go in, add the color, and then we're going to wet our brush and then go in. Just got to be careful with the black, because that's like really, remember, we don't have to get to the black because it does have white that's in between on the picture on our reference photo. All right, let's move on to the next one. Yep, and they got two different nibs too. They got the brush, and then they got the round like regular marker nib, or the brush nib, which makes it super nice. Because whichever way or whatever you're doing, if you're trying to get into, you know, make a line or make a, you know, solid line, or trying to do something unique, I mean, you got the option, which is super, super nice. So now we're going to try something even more different. That works out really well by just applying the marker and then using water to move the pigment. But we're going to try something different. So what I want to do is for this next one, I want to add the pigment, but only half of it, like this. Not touching around the black. Do not get near the black. Okay? And what we're going to do is, since we have to fill in the rest of this, we can just take our brush and let's just go ahead and move that pigment. It might be a little bit lighter, but let's move it up. Hopefully I did not touch the black. I probably did. And that creates more of a lighter color there. Let's do this one the same way. There. Let's come in with our water brush here. We'll just water on the brush. Try not to touch the black because it will swallow your orange that you just put down. It might swallow it, I don't know. It went over there and just let it just kind of bleeded a little bit there. All right, so now we got those colors and it looks really cute. Like, I like the way this is turning out. This is a lot of fun too, by the way. Let's go ahead and do this one. Let's see how far. Let's try and bring it the rest of the way. If I get done filling these in and doing this like it done and we still have some spare time, I am going to grab some of the purple markers and come back to those flowers and just add a little bit more of a shade, like a darker shade, and maybe make it a little bit more detailed than what it is, but not much. I don't want to go too far with them. Maybe even to the plants. Oops, I touched the black. I'm going to hurry up over here and I'm just going to dab it and do the same thing to this side where I touched it. That is definitely my bad. There. I think we only got a few more of the orange before we move on to that red that's up there, which I can't wait to see that one. That one's going to be gorgeous. Touch that little black there on that corner. And then this one here had this little line. Of course it's going to do that to me. It's like, hey, we'll just stick a black piece right in your way. Let's make it a challenge. Let's make it a challenge. I mean, you probably don't even have to add water to this if you're in a tight situation like this. But I like to I'll just barely touch it just to kind of lighten it up just a tad. Don't want to get carried away because I definitely get carried away with this. Have some fun. All right. Is that the only one? Yeah. Besides these. Oh, we got this up here. How many do we have? 1, 2, and then there's like a couple. I probably will add these, but I'm probably not going to blend them. Oops. And then there's supposed to be one in there, but it'll be all right. We'll add a little bit in there. Now I want these to be a little bit darker, so I'm not trying to wash them completely out. Just kind of moving them. All right, so now let's go ahead and add our red. I'm super excited about this red. I know I took out those yellows and I haven't really used the yellows, but we'll keep them out anyway, just because maybe I want to throw some more yellow back in here. All right, so this one here is the Pale Geranium Lake. And it seems like it's brighter than the deep scarlet red. So we'll just go ahead and try it out. Let's give it a try. Now remember, we're trying to get, well, this here is butted up right against the black actually. There's no white in here. So what I'm going to do is just kind of go right up against it with my brush marker. There. Then we'll just leave it at that. If I need to put in some darker red, then I will. I'm thinking with this one here, you may not want to blend out. Because if you end up blending this out, you are going to run into having black everywhere, like saturating your whole red here. And we don't want to do that. Okay. And then we can come back through and we can always throw in some of this. Ooh, it's like a darker red or something. Let's just put it right here close to the black. Who knows if you can even see it? I don't know. It's there. That is really pretty. I like that. All right. So now that we did that, we got to go in and make our white. Looks like we got 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and use our Dr. PH Martin's Bleed Proof White. Now, this is a hard one to say. I'm going to throw my markers over here for now. I'll have to get back in my box anyway. Now this stuff here is what we're going to add for any kind of white spots. And if you open it up and you're like, oh my God, it's like all cakey and kind of weird looking, it's fine. You just need to add water to your brush. And I probably want to get a smaller brush here, especially if I'm working tinier circles. Will that one work? Maybe. This is a cheapy brush. Yeah, I think I can get my little circles in there. Just make sure you got plenty of water, and then just add water to your brush or water to it and just kind of dip it in here and just work some of that white up to where you actually get some like that. And now you can come back through and you can make your whites. So I'm going to turn this sideways just a little bit so that way I can get a little bit better angle. He definitely needs a white little line there. And what we're doing is just making these little dots. And what's going to happen is this is going to make it so much better. I mean, we could leave the white of the paper showing on these, but in Oh, honestly, it looks so much better if you just go in and add those little dots. So it's just so much more bolder and definitely pops. It makes it pop. I'm going to turn this again because he's got some little tiny dots on the tip of his head here. So let's just add those in. Okay, let's get a teeny tiny one right there. Okay, now I'm going to move it along down here. I mean, I got enough on my brush right now. I'm going to create each row right now, just kind of going through it. It's a few rows of these too. One. See, I can make little tiny lines and just kind of go in there. And as you can see, I haven't dipped again really in a while. I mean, it really lasts a long time. It's almost like an opaque gouache is what it is. But it just acts, I don't know, it just acts really, really opaque, which is super, super nice. It just keeps going. This is a white that never ends. It just keeps going. Oops. Kind of dug it in there. Didn't really have to do that. Okay, I'm going to turn it again so that way I can get up here on top. Okay. I'm turning him upside down so that way I can work, or at least at an angle, because I am the type of person that loves to work in an angle. And these dots look 10 times better than the marker, like leaving them kind of blank, because these look more natural than the marker does. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it again. And we're almost done with this. Besides going back and playing around with those markers, which I'd really like to do. I'm going to make some little dots going all the way up. And then if you want to, you can make like a little shine. Let's see if I can do that. Make a little line. And make another little line. We can also put his little highlights on, his little legs. His little legs need like a little highlight. Let's see if I didn't put too much on. We just want a little bit. And then some on his antennas. There we go. So now he's got a nice little shine. So this is a really cute butterfly. Let's go ahead and just play around with our markers because I absolutely love the little butterfly. I think he is good. So now it's time to play around with the flowers because I definitely wanted to see what we could do. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Trying to get into my marker box. Here, let me move this just a second so you guys can see inside the box. I always make messes. I got all this stuff everywhere. Oh my goodness. I will put them back. Okay, so here's the box. Like move that around. And then they got these little trays that you can just take out. Like, and if there is a couple colors that is missing from the box of this 30, and the reason why is because I went through each and every one of them, and I always pick out they're rated by the star rated, and so if it doesn't, like, if it's more on the low end of the star rating, that I'm always pulling them out. I'm like thinking, okay, I don't need these. But as you can see, I didn't have to pull out that many. I think they were all pretty good, except for one marker was dried out. For some reason it was dried out, and it was just one marker. But the place that I got it from was an art store that ended up closing down. So I really got them for a really good, like, discount, I guess, whatever it was. So it's like, you know, I didn't fuss with it or anything. I just went ahead and was happy to get these. So, oh well. One was dried out, and it was a gray one too. I remember it was a gray one. So we're going to go ahead. I only have one purple. What if I'll just mix my own purple. I'll make my own purple. I don't need their purple. We could do green. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's take out some of the green gold real quick. I can't believe I got done early. Wow. I'm still a little in shock over that one. I wasn't expecting on getting done early. Was not. It's like, it seems to be like watercolor can go quite a bit faster because you're working so loosely. You know what? This board may have bowed just because of how much water I added onto it. I don't know. I never had that problem before with Fredrix, but usually they're pretty good canvas. All right, so let's try this out. So I want to make some details. Let's start out with this top one up here that looks kind of. Watch it be dried. Oh my goodness. These markers. Oh no, it's fine. It's me. Just added a little bit of water to it, and then it was fine. So we'll just see how this goes. We added a little bit of texture. Playing around with some watercolors. Okay, I'm going to just kind of soften these out just a bit. Probably needs more water. So it adds a little bit. If you wanted a little bit of texture in there, you could add some. If you just wanted to add more of a darker glow, then you can do that. Because these lines, you can easily remove them and just keep what you want. Ooh, I wonder if we can soak it up. Is this kind of crinkly? Maybe. add both. A little bit of texture and then soaking it up a little bit. Ooh, that looks pretty. I like that. My contact don't fall out. Wouldn't that be something? I'm just talking to you guys and all of a sudden my contact falls out. Not my eyeball. My contact falls out. Be like, oops, I'm blind. Can't see. So I'm just adding a little bit in here, and then we're going to do the same thing. That way we got some texture. And to kind of darken it up just a little bit, but I don't want to wipe away all my little texture marks, just the bottoms, like leave the top to where you can still see the point, you know, the little lines you draw. Leave the top, but take away some of the bottom part of it, like soften those lines out. If you don't like the way the line looks, then you can take it out completely if you don't like it. But yeah, kind of took away my lines on there on top, didn't it? Okay, well, it's got quite a bit of water in it, so let's try and soak this up just a little bit more. Making it more of a richer, kind of darker purple. Ooh, look at that. I'm not going to do it to this one too much because I really like the way this one looks and I want to keep it somewhat on the lighter end, but we may end up coming back through with the bleed proof white though. Just playing around with it. Not the eye. Yeah. Well, at least it wasn't like, that would be bad if I had like a, you know, my eye, actual eye like fell out or something. Be like, oh no, excuse me. Oh no, that would not be good. No, my contact's been bothering me and I don't know why. It hasn't been bothering me all day. I've been painting all day and it's been fine, but whenever I go to live stream, it's like something on me happens to fall apart. And it's like, really? You know what? I really would like to get around some of his feet here. Oops, wrong end. Yeah. I want this end. I want to get around his little feet. Maybe little dots. There. And get a little bit of tone. Oops. And I'll just soften it up just a little bit, but not too much. I want to keep some of that texture there. Ooh, that looks pretty. I like that. See, I love these markers. Oh my goodness, I love them. Those are so pretty. I love them. Oh, you got LASIK? Oh, I wish I could have it. They told me that I could at one point. I don't know if, here I'm trying to get this situated there. I don't know if I could get it now, but I remember back then they said that I had astigmatism and that I could get LASIK and that I should really look into getting LASIK. And I thought, yay, maybe I will. But I mean, it's never really happened. I wish it did. Oops, why did I do that? I don't know. I just decided to make 2 marks in it. I don't know why I did that. It's gone. But whenever I went to the eye doctor just recently, they told me that I had that I needed bifocals and that they were going to try and use bifocals in my contact lenses. So I had to change my contact lenses. So now one eye has a bifocal in my contact and the other eye, I think, doesn't. It's really weird. Like both, I got two different visions in each eye. So, okay, let's see how this white goes. We're going to add some. We're going to play. I don't know. Should we add it? Yeah, let's add it to the flower. Let's just make. Just a couple. We're not going to do a whole bunch. We're not going to go too crazy with it, but we're just going to do a couple in here. On. Get it before you can't, because there's a level of bad that can't be fixed. And definitely fix my, for the most part. I really have issues with it. Okay. I wish I could. Right now it's like, I would love to do it, but I just can't afford it right now, to be honest. I wish I could. And then it would take my son having to take care of me. My son would be like, oh heck no, he'll just let me run into doors. Feel like thump, there's mom. So who knows? I don't know if I'm going to be, I don't know. And I don't know exactly how bad I am neither. Like, I have no clue. Let's do one more before we go. Looks like it's getting closer to that time already. It's crazy. Let's go ahead and do a leaf. We're going to add some white to these leaves. I just want it loose. I added quite a bit to this, but I wanted to do that to see if we can't like lighten it up with this white, like if it can't move. I'm just softening it out is all I'm doing. That makes it feel like it's got like a slight highlight to it. That's kind of nice. And you can always keep what you want. If you don't feel like softening it out, you don't have to. But I'm just barely softening it. Basically, I'm just taking out any kind of roughness or anything to it. I'm just That's kind of cool. All right, so I think we can just go ahead and sign this, and we are going to use, oh, my eyes can see. We'll just sign it with the white. Okay, and we'll just sign it. Let's see here. We got here or here, probably like right in here. All right. So there is my signature. This is such a cute butterfly. So I just want to go ahead and show you up close so you guys can get a close-up of that. That's using the watercolors, like just loosely. I've been adding in some of those markers, and those are those watercolor markers right there on that butterfly, which just looks gorgeous. I don't know. I absolutely had fun with this painting. This is a really cute one and will definitely look cute on a wall. So yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining. You know, I've always had trouble pronouncing your name and I feel so bad. I'm like, okay, okay, let's see if I can do it, okay? I am so horrible with words, like seriously, for anything minute. I am just so bad. So, Lagraria Creates. I hope I got it, maybe. I don't know. You let me know if I got your name right. But thank you so much for joining. It's always been a blast to talk to you. It really has. It just makes my day completely. So I guess since it's 9:03, let's see here. Look like an actual picture where the plants fall to the back while the butterfly is in the front and the center. Yeah. Lugria. Lugria. My tongue's not working. Just like Lugria. I don't know. Does that sound about right, or am I still wrong? Maybe. It's so pretty too. Like, I would love to say it. I did. Oh, yay. I was like, you have such a beautiful name. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And it's like, my tongue just don't work. It's like, it gets stuck or something. I don't know. My eye doesn't work either. So not only am I probably looking like this, and then I'm talking like, it's horrible. Be like, the next thing that we're going to do is a lizard because I can't talk. I feel like the little eyes going different ways and the little tongue. But anyways, I guess we'll go ahead and call it a night. And thank you so much for joining. Remember to leave a like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, because we'll definitely be doing something else next week. And yeah, I think I'm not missing anything. Oh yeah, and if you're interested in joining Patreon, the link is also in the description below. So go check that out. Become a free member. You can easily get one of those tracings that we have, or at least that I started adding for each live stream. So if you're just in a hurry and you just don't feel like drawing the actual piece from the reference photo, you can just use mine, because this is exactly what I've drawn out, and you guys can use it to transfer, and then you can go ahead and paint along with me if you want to. So that will be posted on Monday before a live stream. So if anybody wants that, you can go check that out over, tongue twist. Check that out over on my Patreon, free to be a member. So just join and then click free member. Learning to say my own name once. Oh my God. No, you didn't have, did you, was it hard? I don't know, it's kind of like my name, even in kindergarten, Deborah, I was like, that was always like something, but yeah, we would both be together and be like, okay, I don't know how to pronounce my name very well, you don't know how to pronounce it, we're good, we're a team. Just had to start slow. That is so funny. Oh my gosh, love it. All right, well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things. And I will see you all on the next video. Bye, you guys. Let's see here. I don't even know how to click my own stuff. Hold on one moment. Okay. Looking the wrong way. All right. Bye, you guys.